Hello and welcome to another 6 Sages Gaming Deck Spotlight. We hope you're not afraid to jump into the action because this is exactly what this Dragoon deck wants to be doing. This is a very much requested deck Spotlight that we have been putting off for a little bit, but it did top 8 34 player regional, so we figured it was finally about time. And you know what? We love tribal decks, so we had to talk about it. Plays a normal Dragoon package with Water and Lightning, and it does play some very spicy cards that we're going to talk about. What I really love about this deck is it does have that one of Garnet that you can tutor for and play Cyclops. It really is the Gapal package of the deck, if you will, because it allows for a 4,000 power swing. So let's get right into it. And of course, that's exactly what we're going to talk about is Freya and really Final Fantasy IX in a nutshell. So as you guys are very much aware, Freya has this absolutely insane special when you pull it off, Cherry Blossom. For each job Dragoon and card name Dragoon you control, deal 2,000 damage to all the forwards opponent controls. Now, yes, it does take a little bit of a while to build up, get the board ready, but it can be a very powerful effect and surprisingly strong if you're not going against, say, an Earth deck that has access to Shantoto, where you can just build up your board and get this going. The thing that's not to be missed by this, however, is it has First Strike and Haste. And as we just talked about that one of Garnet we can play a Cyclops, so this can, obviously kill a 8,000 power forward with First Strike thanks to Garnet and thanks to having things like Cyclops in the deck where you get to play more spells, pump your guys. There's a lot of value that this common is able to achieve in this deck. And of course, what would this package be without the middleman, Steiner, bringing it all together? Yes, we do have the backup Eiko, as you'd imagine, to tutor up more Final Fantasy IX forwards, but it's really Steiner that brings it all together. He's an EX burst, he's obviously going to get buffed, so he's going to be a 7k himself, and he just finds whatever piece you're missing. So Steiner absolutely is key in this deck. I was honestly surprised not to see 3 of, but it's very hard to find room for cards in this deck, so I at least can appreciate that it's 2 of. And we have Dragoons, or Kain, which obviously is a Dragoon, and so is Ricard. And this is really the backbone of Freya's ability. Now, these are also just fine by himself. In other games, we have what are called Lords, or in this case, is 4-drop Kain, that for every other Dragoon or card name Dragoon that you have, be it job or name, it gains plus 2,000 power. So he's the other centerpiece of the deck that says, hey, these 6,000, 5,000 power forwards might not be all that impressive maybe on their own, but as you're building up this board to achieve that Freya special and you're trying to build up this aggressive team, suddenly you have a 3-drop 8k or a 2-drop 7k with haste. There's a lot of power that he brings to this deck, and it's also one of those things, again, not to be missed. If you have Rosa, which we are again playing a 3 of, it gets plus 2,000 power, haste, and First Strike. This deck is lightning fast with all the haste abilities that it has. And of course, there's also Red Mage as well to give one of your forwards haste as needed. And then we have the 3-drop Dragoon, First Strike, 6,000. Again, combos very well with Cyclops. We can have a board of Dragoon and Freya, play Cyclops, swing for free. It has value with some of the other things you're going to be doing, like Heroic Lulu and ping something, then First Strike damage. Of course, they don't have Minwu, which can be a problem for the deck. And that's why Cyclops is just that much more important. But this 3-drop Dragoon does a lot of heavy lifting in the deck. And again, it's only a common, so this is a fairly friendly budget deck that did very well in that regional considering. I think there's a little bit of tweaking you can do for it as well, but this is absolutely the go-to list for now. 2-drop Dragoon, really in the deck because we just need more Dragoons, and again, has haste. And then lastly, Ricard. So it's a 4-drop 8k, which is nice. Works very well with Kain, can be a 10k, which is very strong in lightning. Obviously, again, Cyclops, Garnet, things to make it bigger. But what's important here is the ability. For 1 lightning, you can put them in the break zone and save one of your other cards. So again, it's extremely important that we save things like Kain so we can buff our team. Not all of them, but most of them. And Freya, if we're trying to get off that Cherry Blossom special, it can really be a potential blowout for your opponent's removal. And again, it only cost 1 lightning, so he's free to attack. He's going to be a 10k. He's going to be turning sideways every turn, and then he has the ability to save a card when needed. And then, probably no surprise here, is seeing the Al-Cid package. 3 of Al-Cid, 3 of Onion Knight. Don't really need to spend a lot of time talking about that, but what was very spicy to me was the Orlandeau. So yes, it's a 5-drop 7,000. It is a little, it doesn't seem that great by itself. But again, when you consider how much First Strike that this deck has, and we also play a backup which gives our lightning forwards First Strike, he again can do so much work in this deck, but it does require a lot more of a setup, and that is why he is only a 1-of. However, if you're not going against Minwu and you have a board set up, this will absolutely be the card you need to push through for that damage and making sure that your Dragoons are getting in there. Then, of course, we're going to talk about some summons, and 3 of Cyclops. Again, combos extremely well with Garnet. Creates a 4,000 power swing. I cannot stress how important that combo is for this deck, because again, your Dragoons, unless you have a Kain and have all this other setup, they are going to need a little bit of work, and Cyclops alone by himself is probably going to be good enough thanks to the first strike, but Cyclops and Garnet is absolutely icing on the cake for this deck. A 2-2 split on Odin's, not to be shocked by that because it is just the best removal that we have. 4-drop and 7-drop is an EX burst, so that can help when you're coming up against a 4 that you might have problems with, like a Prish or something that you just need to get off the board. Odin is great for doing that. And then a 2 of Leviathan. Obviously, we need a little bit more water cards in the deck because it is a heavy lightning focus. It's an EX burst, helps remove problematic forwards, and can really set up those turns where you bounce her forward, play a couple guys with haste, and just get in there. And then finally, we're going to be talking about the backups. We have a 1-of Water Evoker. Interesting note here, I would have liked to have seen this as just a spicy 1-of water, maybe it be it a Minwu or be it whatever other, you know, water backup of your choice. I understand they are trying to curve out with some of their other options where you play like a red mage into Rosa into Evoker, but I would have liked to see kind of, if you're already wasting a turn to do that, play something that has a little bit more value. 2 of Red Mage, obviously one of the best 2-drops backups in the game. Always a 2 to 3 of staple in the lightning decks, can't get enough of it. And then again, the card that was the other really spicy, absolutely wonderful to see, because I honestly don't think this has made a top 8 appearance yet, outside of maybe 1 or 2 mono lightning decks previously, but Maqui, being able to give one of your lightning forwards first strike until end of turn gives you the ability to always threaten the activation. It is only a 1-of, which is interesting, I think, for how your power matches up and kind of the things that you're going for in the deck. I'd like to see it as a 2-of, also just because we're very light on 2-drop backups, but it is what it is. So I think that card is so wonderful in this deck and brings it all together. Moving on to some of our more utilities, we have a 1 of Gramis that's going to search up your Al-Cid. It's really just the 4th copy of it in this case. 2 of Eiko, not much needs to be said here. It gets your Steiner. Steiner can get your other cards, or Steiner can get Eiko, which then can get your other cards. It's just the typical Final Fantasy IX value package. Then we have a 3 of Rosa. The interesting note here is that whenever a forward you control is chosen by your opponent's summon, you may draw a card. So it also helps keep your engine alive, help you draw into some more cards. And yes, it does have the S effect here for the protect. So you can Minwu kind of situationally if needed to prevent damage that's less than their total power. But oftentimes you just want to open this early so your Kain gets bigger and better. And then 2 of Sage. Again, bringing back Freya's, bringing back that Garnet that maybe you just had to pitch early for whatever reason. Getting cards back never hurts, and it really helps with those specials you want to be playing. And then our last 2 cards that we have for our backups, again, is just about value packages. So Fusoya comes into play, is going to deal 5,000 damage or something. Again, sometimes this alone, you can either ping off one of their forwards, especially if they're playing like the Black Chocobo decks or something that are 5,000 power or less, or it allows you to ping something that you would just play anyways, attack with a Dragoon that has first strike, and just guarantee that point of damage in the sense that your opponent doesn't want to lose a forward in that trade. So it can do quite a bit of work there. But also then what's interesting is Heroic Lulu. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be surprised to not see the plus 1,000 power Lulu, which, yes, if you're going to change some backups, you could take out this package, but I personally really like it. So I would recommend testing it with it first. But you can take out the Heroic Lulu, play the rare version, change up your backups a little bit because Fusoya has significantly less value when you can't break it, obviously. But this allows you to play Lulu, ping something for 5,000 with breaking Fusoya, and then getting something back. So it just has that interesting value. You can keep going with it. Or in some cases, in the same turn, you're going to play Fusoya, choose something to deal 5,000 damage, activate Lulu's effect, break it, deal 5,000 damage to something else, potentially kill a 10,000 powered forward, and get a card back from your break zone. Again, Cherry Blossom, getting back important Dragoons that you need, getting back tech card, what have you. The other thing is that the special Thundaga, dealing 10,000 damage to something is obviously going to be insane. It's going to kill everything unless they have like a Golem or Titan or something like that to save it, but 10,000 damage is absolutely critical for taking off some of those maybe Feral Chaoses or Minervas as well. So that is the Dragoon deck spotlight. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and will take this for a spin and are not afraid to jump into it, because again, it's pretty spicy. There's not a lot of Water Lightning lists that have been out there. It plays Dragoons. It is just, you gotta give this a spin. I think it's absolutely great. So kudos again to the player that made top 8 at the 34 player regional, and we are so looking forward to seeing maybe if this gets a little bit more love in Opus 4. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, drop us a like, comment down below what kind of content you want to see next or what your favorite Dragoon is, and of course, subscribe for future Final Fantasy trading card game content. So until next time, we'll catch you on the next 6 Sages Gaming video. Have a good one. This video made possible thanks to the Patreon support of viewers such as yourself. Thank you to our honorary sages.